24 hours ago, I have posted this picture of mine and I asked you to put down any questions you have. And I promise to answer every single question, whether you like the answer or not. Is it possible to make a living off an EA? And that's probably a decent question. The grid martingale system robots are risky. How you are managing the risk? And to give you a straightforward answer to that is backtesting or forward testing. I think you should do both before you start trading any expert advisor. When an EA goes into a drawdown phase, do you cut its lot size, park it, or let the predefined stop loss take profit logic run unchanged? No, I don't touch it. Just wanted to share this though and get your take on it. We should have put a limit to the length of the questions. What is your team's method of consistently finding reputable EAs? We're looking for three things. Is it true that you are getting special conditions from prop firms? You had 24 hours to ask me anything, whether I liked it or not, and I promise to answer every single question, whether you like the answer or not. So let's get started. And before we get to the first question, I want to remind you that half of you haven't subscribed to this channel. Many of you watch my videos because they pop up on the home screen of YouTube and you just click on the video, but you missed to subscribe. So if you really want to support that channel, I would really appreciate it if you really subscribe right now. So exactly 24 hours ago, I have posted this picture of mine sitting on this chair of mine and I asked you to put down any questions you have for me and I'll do my best to answer them as transparently as possible. And the first question out of the 40 we have on YouTube, and then we'll go to the social medias as well, with actually three questions in one. Number one, what's the one robot you recommend for a trader who wants to earn passive income from trading? So if you're looking for a passive income, you should consider a bigger account with a robot that generates 2 to 3, 4% a month. That is much more than what the banks would offer as an interest rates on your deposit. And such an expert advisor you can find on our live trading results on the website. And I have a few bigger accounts. The Sharpshooter recently made a huge loss and it hit the 30% stop loss, but I hope it will recover. I will dedicate a video to show exactly what happened in the next days. Then we have the Market Master, which makes an average of 3 to 4% a month. The Happy Gold made 4.2 in the last 30 days. We've made about 4% with the EAs from the top 10 up. The Happy Gold Scalping is a brand new account, actually just 1 day old, and it had just one trade. The FX Stabilizer Pro is a new expert advisor we are testing, and it also makes about 4% in the 5K live account. And we have the Waka Waka on a 3K bigger account with an average of 2 to 3%. The Forex Gold Investor also made losses recently in our account. So if I have to pick any of those for a passive income, I would select the Happy Gold, but keep an eye on the new scalping version that we've placed on the bigger account to see if it will outperform the recovery version of the same robot. The second question is, what's the one robot you recommend for trading and passing funded accounts? That's a tough one because the prop firms have all of these rules nowadays, and especially if you use the same robot as another trader, you will get banned most likely. So the app I would suggest is the prop firm robots app, because there you get new expert advisors and robots every week. It updates on Saturdays and you can customize the robots according to your challenge, and you can get unique trades by the randomization that is available on the app. So I use more and more the prop firm robots app for the challenges. The third question is, what is your best robot and what settings would you recommend? That's really hard to answer because it depends on the purpose, but we have a few very decent decent expert advisors such as the Sharpshooter, the Waka Waka, the Happy Gold, the Market Master, Japan Strike, and probably I will miss a few, but combining all of these into a decent portfolio on different trading accounts makes the best solution for me. Makes sense to diversify not in one but on multiple accounts with multiple robots. And there is one reply saying I was about to ask the same question. We continue forward. Can you do any more videos of donations to charities? I remember you did a video a while back, but would love to see more of you giving back to the community with the money you earn from EAs. Now this is something I've been discussing a lot with my team, and especially Desi, who is managing the socials and the donations, and we came to a solution where we will not just spend some money on donations and charities, but you guys will decide where to place this money. And if I go back a few posts ago, you will notice this poll where we asked you where to put the first profits from the charity account from iFunds. And at the time of posting there was $760, but when I requested the withdrawals there was a little bit more, so it was $911, and you guys voted to give this money for a wheelchair stair lift for a local school. And it turned out that this will be the first chair of its kind in the whole region, and there are 11 schools in total, and it's a pity that only one will have such a chair, but hopefully with your help, with the help of companies like iFunds, who granted me this $150,000 Dubai account. Here is the withdrawal that we've made on the 2nd of July. And here is the track record. This is the withdrawal that we've made last month, and just before requesting the next withdrawal we had this 6% loss in the charity account, because this is where I have set my stop loss. It was hit. There is some chance for this account to recover. I also lowered a little bit the risk. I lowered a little bit the stop loss, but as I said, I will dedicate a video to show you what is my plan here. And so there is one more comment while I'm talking. Of course, I will answer to that one as well. Now going downwards, can I succeed with 1-30 leverage building a portfolio, I mean for a long-term results? I assume this leverage is for somebody in Europe, because I am in Europe and we have this restriction, and I found a solution to trade with brokers outside of the Europe like Black Bull. They are not regulated in Europe, they are regulated in Australia, New Zealand, but this doesn't matter. I never had problems with them, and I use leverage up to 1 to 500, which is huge, and it's more than enough. But as well with 1 to 30 you can do well, but you should risk a very small amount of your account so you will have enough margin. Next question is, I've been thinking about the difference between funded companies and prop firms like iFunds. While it's true that funded companies offer real capital, the leverage tends to be extremely low. On top of that, even to increase it slightly, the profit split is usually only 50%, which limits overall upside. On the other hand, although prop firms require going through phases, if you are consistent, the potential to scale and withdraw significant profits is much higher. Once you pass the challenge, the profit share is better and the leverage allows for more efficient capital usage. We should have put a limit to the length of the questions. I'm joking, of course. Just wanted to share this though and get your take on it, whether the lower risk of funded companies really offsets the limited upside compared to the opportunity with prop firms. I will answer short on this long question. From all of the accounts I had so far, I've made much more money from funded programs compared to prop firms. And I've bought more prop firm challenges in the last 2 years compared to the funded accounts I've bought. Just I've made more money because I always get the payout. Do you hold any other assets like Bitcoin or S&P 500 and just let them increase in value, just only use EAs? Absolutely, and I've shared that in plenty of my videos in the past, that I put equal pieces or equal exposure between cryptocurrencies, and probably 90% of my portfolio is with Bitcoin. I invest in indices and stocks, S&P. I invest in the most famous companies like Apple, Amazon, Google, and the last third part is investing in life accounts and funded accounts and prop firms. So as much as I invest in algo trading, the same amount I invest in crypto, and the same amount I invest in stocks and indices. Next question comes from India. My first question is how much time you are in trading. Then I'll go to algo strategy developer, grooming history. I'm not sure if I understand that one. And last question, do you provide any EA to your subscriber like me totally free? I have granted plenty of EAs for free, guys. If you just scroll on my channel and see all the videos as well in the EA Trading Academy channel, probably every second video offers a free expert advisor. Thank you very much. Your non-stop algorithmic work to trading community is world-class privilege like us. As new beginners, I thank you for these words. And to answer the question, how much time you are in trading, probably I dedicate all of my time on this desk, but this includes the videos, the production, checking the editing, after the editors, testing new expert advisors. But once I put any of the expert advisor on MetaTrader, I don't look at it, I don't touch it, I don't put any emotions. If it fails, it fails. I have my rules. If it makes profits, I'll just withdraw them. Next question is, the grid martingale system robots are risky. How you are managing the risk? I have seen a couple of EAs using the same logic introduced in the channel recently. How to tackle the account blown out situation with these type of EAs? And there is one more comment below that. It's all about keeping your position size safe based on your capital. So that's probably kind of an answer to the question. A grid martingale is one of the best EAs. It always reverses back at some point, and the global average price basket will always get hit. They are capital heavy EAs, but they work and they work well. And to give you a straightforward answer to that is a bigger account with very low risk. Put a certain global stop loss for the account. I usually keep it at 50% for the live accounts. And number two is withdraw profits consistently, because with the grid martingale, yes, you can make profits and you can double your account and you can triple it and quadruple it, but you will fall under the greed emotion and you will just keep building the account until the moment that it might blow the account, and you will lose everything, and you will leave comments on my YouTube channel that grid martingales, EAs do not work. So it's about low risk and regular withdrawals. Hello Petko, I don't know what to ask, just keep making such kind of videos. Also, I like to see more vlog type videos also, which you do one time when you donate to school or something. I will do my best to do that. Hi Petko, thanks for all of the wonderful video you have made on EA. I'm a keen follower of your channel. Can I know which is the best low cost XA? I assume this is gold EA you have tested, and are there free ones you can recommend? At the time of recording this podcast, I would say the dark gold, which has a very high success rate. We have it on a few accounts and it costs just $99 for 5 flexible licenses and $150 for 10 flexible licenses. I can't think of a free gold expert advisor at the moment that is worth testing, but keep an eye on the channels. If we find one, we will let you know. Next up, what EA that are profitable and has the longest time running without intervention, the longest set and forget EA you have ever run? Which one do you prefer, backtesting or forward testing? How long you backtest and forward testing a new EA? There are a few more questions here, so let's start one by one. The longest time running EA without intervention probably is the Waka Waka we have on the website. The results are public, and I'm talking about this live account with 8 cap. It's been running for 295 days and it generated 40% gain in my 3K account. Again, a small risk in relatively bigger account with regular withdrawals. Which one do you prefer, backtesting or forward testing? I think you should do both before you start trading any expert advisor. It is a must to backtest it, then it is a must to put it on a demo account so you can perform some forward testing and just compare if the forward test matches the back test. So it is not or, it is and. How long you backtesting and forward testing a new EA? For the backtest, as long as you can, the more historical data you have, the better. We usually aim to backtest it for 5 years, and for the forward test, I'm not focusing on the period but on the gain. So once an EA does 10% on a demo account, I consider putting it on a live or a funded account. When an EA goes into a drawdown phase, do you cut its lot size, park it, or let the predefined stop loss take profit logic run unchanged? Looking back, which blown account or failed system taught you the most, and how did that shape the current portfolio approach? No, I don't touch it. For the live accounts, I set a global stop loss or a max loss in the account of 50%, obviously for the funded accounts, and for the prop firms it is usually 10 or 8%, whatever it is for the platform I select. So there I don't have a huge choice, but for the live accounts I set the total risk at 50%. So it's just like I accept the fact that I can lose this money and I leave the EA running fully automatically, no matter if it's in a drawdown for a long time. Looking back at the blown accounts and the failed systems, there were plenty, to be honest. All of the results we have nowadays are a result of many blown accounts, many losses, but probably the biggest lesson I got from there is to withdraw profits regularly. Probably I'll repeat that a few times by the end of the podcast. What is the one trading strategy or indicator combination that has consistently generated the highest risk-adjusted returns for you in live Forex markets over the past 5 years, and why do you believe it outperforms others? If we're talking about risk-adjusted strategy, I would look at the Market Master, which has been trading for about 2 months on my 5K live account, and what I have as a result so far is a very high trade win percentage, 87.5%, and the profit factor is 5.6. So what I see is a very low risk for the profits it achieves. You can see that the equity stays like really close to the balance line, and so far I didn't see a huge risk in this trading account. Also, the vendor has its own track record, and here we can see that the max drawdown was about 10% just recently. I didn't have that in my account, but I think he takes a little bit higher risk in this account to achieve this gain, and this account is actually fully verified. But even that the risk is a little bit higher, you can see that it achieves somewhere between 2 and 17%, probably an average of 10 10% a month. Actually, the monthly return is right in here, 10.10, with relatively low drawdown, like the maximum was 8.88. And I thank you very much for the 5 questions because they were really nice. When you got $1,000 for trading, what EA you would trade or how you would split different EAs? If I have $100,000 for live trading, I would separate them at least on 10K live accounts, and I would put 10 of my best EAs or 10 of the best EAs we have on the smaller $1,000 account, and I'll just transfer them to the bigger 10K accounts, but I wouldn't put one EA only on 100K. For starters, what stable pairs do you recommend to trade it by trend following EAs? Now, I avoid to recommend currency pairs because this is the job of the vendors. If the expert advisor was designed and created for the euro dollar, then you should be trading it on euro dollar. If it was designed for any cross pairs like the Waka Waka, then you trade on those currency pairs. Of course, you can play around with backtesting it on different currencies, and we've done that with my team for many of the EAs, and we found that it even works better on different currencies from the ones that the vendor recommends, but only if the backtest proves that. So it's not about which currency pair I like. They're all the same for me. The thing is, can you find a backtest suitable for that currency pair, and then does the forward test proves the same? From your experience, do you think for those EAs with good martingale strategies, without stop losses and very tight take profit and without stop losses, are the only way to be consistently profitable for the long term? If you remove the last 2 words from that question, long term, I would say yes. If we keep the long term in the question, I would say no, because you just accept the risk that it will blow the account in one moment if everything goes in the opposite direction. But I would trade such expert advisors only if there is a global stop loss or max equity protection. And again, I said for the live accounts, I keep it at 50%. What is your team's method of consistently finding reputable EAs? That's an interesting one. Thanks for all of the quality information you guys provide. And I answered that question by accident on YouTube while I was answering all of the questions, but I will answer it now. We're looking for 3 things. One is we want to see a verified track record. Number 2 is we want to see a free trial. And number 3 is we want to see 30 days money back guarantee. If we see those 3 things with the vendor, it is very likely that the strategy is profitable, and we will give it a chance, and we will review it in the channels after we see profitable results. How do you start profitable automated trading, and where and how much to start? I just answered that with the previous question. So you need a proven track record, fully automated expert advisor. You need 30-day money back guarantee. So if the expert advisor is not profitable, you can request a refund. And how much to invest? I cannot really say that. It depends on how much you're willing to risk and to lose, because when you put money in a live trading account, once again, you accept the risk and the fact that you may lose this money. And usually I put 50% max loss limit because I don't want to risk the whole account. And also, if the EA drops below 50%, well, probably that's not a good EA and you have to look for a better one. Oh, and where? Just look at the results on the website that we have. They are fully transparent. There is no manipulation with the track record. records. If an account fails, we will see it there in the 100K project, and you will be able to pick the expert advisor you want to trade. So which are the prop firms I should be aiming for, and can I use Dark Gold EA for prop firms? I assume you can. I don't see a reason why not. Just change a little bit the input so you will get unique trades. And when it comes to prop firms, we are currently trading on the FXIFI, the Fifers, also Holoprime, Funded Next, and instant funding companies like iFunds are just a better solution for me. Do you still recommend pair correlation strategy EA? Is it really profitable with low drawdown? I'm sorry, I went through that question a few times and I couldn't really understand what exactly you're asking, but if you are talking about a combo of different currencies to have a better diversification, like for example to trade euro dollar with the pound dollar and with the euro pound, so we will have equal exposure between the currencies, then yes, if the EA allows that. If not, I would say again, trade the currency pair that the vendor is recommending. As someone new to trading but very committed to learning and using automation through expert advisors, I would like to ask, how do you design or choose EAs that remain consistently profitable across changing market conditions over the long term, not just in backtests, but in real forward live trading? Specifically, what steps or principles do you follow to ensure robustness, avoid overfitting, and manage risk when you can't actively monitor the trades daily? And what advice would you give someone who wants to build a hands-off, sustainable, and diversified EA portfolio with a small trading capital? You know, I've spent a lot of time, probably a decade, struggling to find the best methods and to put together different indicators and different inputs and combos between stop loss and take profit and risk rewards and everything you can imagine. And at the end, I figured it out that it really doesn't matter. All of that doesn't matter if you have the chance to trade many different expert advisors. If you can afford to get a few expert advisors, not many, but a few, and you put them on demo accounts and you just forward testing them, whichever expert advisors makes money, you trade it live, right? So recently I'm just focusing on the results we have on the website. We have our MetaTrader accounts, and I put more of my trading capital into those expert advisors that bring consistent profits. And I assume this question is more related of building your own EAs. Well, to be honest, I found with the time that this is not my strength. I'm not the genius who will build and code expert advisors. Ryan from the Powerhouse is such a guy. And there are many more vendors. Some of them don't want to show their faces. I've invited many for a podcast, but they just want to stay, you know, in the dark, in silence. So, and I respect that. But the thing is, I found out that my strength is to put together a team that will help me test hundreds of expert advisors, and we will put the results public on our website. And so I'm not really spending more time on trying to create expert advisors, because there are people for that, and there are people for building great companies like iFunds. There are people that are specialists in, you know, very, very detailed programming sequences and hardcore developers. I'm not that guy, okay? I am somebody who is organizing the whole thing in the academy, and we are testing hundreds of expert advisors, and we have all of these live and funded trading accounts with so many different expert advisors, and it's really tough to do the whole thing, and it takes all of my time, not most of my time, but all of my time. So I really focused on that recently. So probably I'm not the right person to answer how to design a strategy, how to choose an EA. I can answer that, and probably I need to, dedicate a whole podcast to that. But to simplify it, just pick the expert advisor that makes the most money on our live accounts. And how you can do that is just go to the live accounts and just arrange them by the gain in the last 30 days. So, right, 27% from the crypto investor, 22% from the FX stabilizer, 17% in a small $200 account from Dardione. We have 12% for multi-pairs EA, and all of these profits are just for 30 days. So that's how you can choose a good EA. EAs with account protection measures for funded accounts and small 3-5 accounts compatible with any broker. I assume the question is about which EAs to put on funded accounts where we have max 10% drawdown limits, and so which are the expert advisors suitable for small 3 to 5k accounts. Again, I would look at the bigger 5k accounts, and all of these expert advisors have protections. And if you want to trade any of those on a live and on a funded account, just check which ones we already have on instant funded accounts. For example, if you want to trade a live account, an iFunds account, look at the results we have with the Happy Goat recovery on an iFunds account, compare it with the results we have from the bigger live account. Or if you decide to trade, let's say, the Market Buster, again, compare the results from the funded and the live account with this expert advisor, see the results and decide for yourself whether it's worth trading it. Can you and your team suggest Forex brokers that are open to US investors, please? I have looked into opening accounts from the brokers that you suggest, but all have stated that they are not available to US investors. Thank you. I know that Forex brokers are paying for the US traders, and I cannot really suggest because I've never traded with a US broker. I'm not allowed, same as you guys are not allowed to trade outside US, or at least it will be unregulated broker for you. What I know from some of our traders and subscribers is Oanda, Forex.com and IG, but do not take those as a recommendation because I never had a live account with them. I cannot say a thing about their conditions, so you should do your due diligence. I'm sorry guys from the US, I cannot help with that, but I can help you with EAs. Hi Petko, can you tell me of the brokers you recommend? Okay, the brokers are the topic with these questions. 8K Black Bull IC markets. Have you any evidence that they have manipulated price in their favor? I haven't noticed that, guys. If you have noticed such a thing, let us know in the comments. We will do our research. We will check our accounts to see if it confirms for us. I know that some of the brokers that are having different servers around the world may have different trading conditions. So if you have different results from any of my accounts, it might be because I have an EU account, for example, and you open one from South Africa or Australia or India, and you may see different results. But this doesn't mean that the broker is manipulating the price in their favor. How reliable is iFunds? BASX is a terrible broker that is not regulated by tier 1 regulators in the world like ASIC, FCA. It has a terrible spreads and slippages. That's why I'm still skeptical in opening an account with them. I am fully aware of that since the beginning, and I have discussed that with the iFunds team when I met them in Dubai for the podcast that we recorded, and they said that they are actively working on a solution. Probably their own broker, probably another liquidity provider. They are also aware that the spreads are terrible and they are working on that. I would trust they will find the solution, because just the people behind the iFunds are really smart and nice guys, and I hope they will have a better broker very soon. But that's not really a reason for not opening an account, according to me, because as you saw, I've requested plenty of withdrawals. Actually, I have them right in here. You can see all of those withdrawals, and I agree that probably those would be more money for me if the trading conditions were better, but still I can request the withdrawal at any moment. I'm happy with that. Hi Petko, I have created an algo machine learning robot which trains every weekend on the past data to understand how market is behaving. As there can be a consistent market, the machine learning robot adapts to the market conditions and adjusts all the parameters, logic, and advances itself every weekend. I'm getting the win rate of 70-85% per week, which is pretty good, depending on the situation of the market. I wanted to know how long does it take for you guys to create an AI robot which is self-efficient and effective? Just to know, it took me 3 weeks and still try to get the most out of it. As I already said, I'm not the expert in the niche of creating or developing expert advisors, but if you got 70-85% win rate for 3 weeks, I think you're doing a pretty good job. Keep up the good work and keep me updated. Tell me more about taxation. Specifically, I'm interested in the question of withdrawals. Are funds withdrawn to a legal entity or an individual? What tax is paid? Is it like regular income from any other business, or are there some nuances? How is income verified? Through invoices from the broker? I understand it varies by country, but I'd like to hear your example. Assume you live in the EU. Thank you. Well, probably here I should say that I'm not a tax advisor or financial advisor. I'm really not. As far as I am aware, in EU and specifically in Bulgaria where we live, if you have profit from a certain account, you have to pay tax on that profit. So let's say I fund 5K and I make $1,000 profit. I withdraw this money in my account. I have to pay tax on this 10% if they go to your bank account, right? If you keep them in the broker and you withdraw them in your wallet and you open another account with $1,000 within your broker, I think in this case you don't need to pay tax. For example, in Black Bull, I have a wallet where I'm withdrawing profits, and from there I am opening a new account, and the money stay there in New Zealand with Black Bull, so they're not coming to Bulgaria in Europe, so I don't have to pay taxes on that. But if I withdraw profits into my bank account, and I usually do that with personal accounts, not company accounts, then I have to pay the taxes, or every year I declare how much profit I've made, how much money I've withdrawn, and I pay tax on that. In Bulgaria it's 10%. I know that's low tax compared to most of the countries, but it is what it is. Just make sure you do a good research for the region or the country you're living in. Is it possible to make a living off an EA, perhaps with a large account, 100k plus? Absolutely, with 100k plus you can make a living. Of course, it depends on how much you need to make a good living, but if you have 100k and you run any of the expert advisors I've mentioned that generate profit of 4 to 5% a month, this is 5k a month. So now for me that's enough. Even I have family, cats, mortgage and everything, that's enough for me to live, the normal life I'm living. But if you want to risk a little bit more, I'll say diversify the capital between life accounts, iFunds or fundedtrading.com accounts, maybe a few challenges, not too much pressure on that, but diversify between different life accounts so you will trade different robots, and I think you can comfortably make 10% a month if you have 5, 6, 7 decent expert advisors. So yeah, I believe you can. I saw you're using iFunds as excellent prop firm. Well, it's not exactly a prop firm. I decided to give it a try. I purchased many EAs as shown in your videos and test them on demo. When everything was fine to me and I want to start, I get shocked when I realize that at iFunds there is no MT4 platform because all the EAs that I have are MT4 version. That is really strange because most vendors provide the EAs with MT4 version and MT5 version. As far as I remember, only the Forex Pro is the vendor with the Japan Strike and multi-pair CA. They are the ones that provide MT4, and I requested from the vendor if they can make MT5 versions, but I don't see a reason why you are taking MT4 versions. But let's continue here. My question is the meta same to you, and are you using copy trading software? If yes, which one are you using and which one is the best? If you recommend any copy trading software, kindly explain based on which criteria you recommend it. No, I'm not using copy trading software. I don't recommend using one, and I'm trading on all of my accounts, or probably 90% of my accounts, on MT5, except that vendor Forex Pro with some decent EAs. They allow only MT4 versions of the EAs, and only there we trade with MT4, and the future, guys, is with MT5. And I totally understand iFunds that they provide only MT5. This is the better platform for backtesting because we have more data. We have real spread data, which we don't have in MetaTrader 4. And I see more and more brokers stop offering MetaTrader 4. So if you have purchased expert advisors from the different vendors we've shown, just ask them for the MT5 version, and I'm pretty sure you can download it from the websites. Is the Sharpshooter appropriate for an iFunds 10K account? Will it work well if it was on a £500 live account? Thank you. 500 live account is small for the Sharpshooter. Ryan, the vendor, recommends 3 or 5K for a static balance, and 10K iFunds account is ideal because I have such an account. You can find all of the funded accounts right in this section, and they're separated by the platform. So all the iFunds accounts are on the top, and the 10K iFunds account where I'm treating the Sharpshooter is right in here. It is also in a drawdown after the recent huge move from euro-dollar where the Sharpshooter hit the stop loss. But you can see that 2 times I have requested withdrawals. So the first time I've made $800. So I've requested a payout and received 50% from it, which is about $400. And then the second time I've requested 600 and I received 300. So all in total, I have recovered the investment of $700 that I paid for that account. And just when the account climbed again and I was going to withdraw the profits, the stop loss was hit, and you can see that currently my equity sits at 9,400. So there is still room to the stop loss of about $500. So there is a chance that this account will recover, but I have recovered my initial investment by withdrawing the profits, and I think 10K iFunds account is suitable for the Sharpshooter. Just don't be greedy to trade a high risk with big stop loss, probably low or mid risk with a stop loss about 4 to 4.5% will work better for the long term with the Sharpshooter. The next question is, I want to trade with robots, which one do I prefer? I have followed your link to Xtrader and open account in MyFX. What next? Again, check out the results, guys. I will show it to you if you still cannot find it. When you're on the website of EA Trading Academy, go to results and go to funded trading. The trading.com accounts are in a separate section there, okay? You can see all of our accounts with Xtrading, or the broker that we call trading.com. And you can see all of the expert advisors we have in here. You can see that only one was losing in the last 30 days. That was the Happy Gold EA recovery, and only one I have with overall losses. This is the Infinity Trader EA. All the rest are profitable. You can register by the profit for the last 30 days and you will see which ones are suitable for this broker. So you just pick one. I hope you are well. I am very well. I hope you're well too. What is the best EA for a live trading account? Indices. Please, indices are hard, guys. Indices are usually related to high spreads and commissions, and stock trading on MetaTrader is related to high spreads and commissions. It's nearly impossible because you see the idea of indices and stocks is to invest. It means to buy them and to hold them for the long term. Just what I said at the beginning that I'm doing, but not with CFD brokers, not with MetaTrader. Trading with expert advisors on the indices market is really hard, and we've tried that with the top 10 robots app. So if you look at it on the website and you open the app, you'll see that there are expert advisors for the German 40, for the FTSE S&P, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, and there are some decent strategies, but once we put those on live accounts, the results are not really the same as the backtest. Once again, because the costs for live trading indices are high and we couldn't really find a suitable combination. That's why in the app there are actually 8, not even 10 expert advisors. It's hard even to generate them. It's a market I would say you better avoid. There is the Forex market. It is the most suitable market for trading with robots. And that's why actually you cannot find many indices robots even on the MQL5 marketplace. Is InfiniteTrader EA is good for DAWinx because currently it draw down in a big amount and haven't closed for 4 days straight. Yep, so 80 expert advisors, you are right. 80 expert advisors that keeps losing trades or floating loss for more than a day or two is not really suitable for DAWinx. I've tested many and I've restarted many of my DAWinx accounts because of that. So look for expert advisors that will stay longer on a profit compared to the period there will be on a loss. And if you remember, the guy from DAWinx confirmed that in the podcast. If you had no other income stream, would you make a living off your automation trading? And there is one more comment there, but let me answer first to that one. Absolutely. If you are following the right vendors, if you're following the right YouTube channels, you can make a living off algo trading. Just be very careful. Stay low risk. Aim 2 to 5% a month. This is the goal, guys. Not 20, not 50, not 100 even. We have such results from time to time. Probably you will notice that these expert advisors will be followed by losses. So same with the Forex Gold Investor, like it doubled, tripled some of my accounts, and then in the last few months it's just losing money, right? So if you want to make a living and stay for the long term with expert advisors, chase 2 to 5%. This is the realistic algo trading. And of course, if you have enough capital, you can make a living from the expert advisors. And when you're looking at the results on our website, look at the period as well. So make sure you keep an eye on the gain for the last 30 days. For example, the crypto investor made 27%, but it's been running just for 2 months. That's an account I have in the 100K project. But for example, the Wall Street Recovery Pro, you can see that it's been running for 241 days, 8% in the last 1 month, 47% in total. That's a sustainable result for the long term. And of course, if you like, let's say, the crypto investor EA, but you are skeptical because it was running in my account just for 2 months, well, wait for it, right? The results are there, they're public. Check it out after 6 months and see if the account is still there. If it's not, probably it was blown. If it's still there, then this might be an EA that you want to trade for the long term. What's the best way to use bots without blowing up your account? 2 words: low risk. What one robot can pass me a prop firm challenge and give me a realistic return of 2 to 3% per month? I have a budget of $1,000. The robots that are suitable for prop firms are those that offer randomization, which means that you can change the inputs in such a way so you will get unique trades. And many of the robots that we reviewed are suitable for prop firms, but if you click on challenges on the EA Trading Academy under the results, you will see all of the expert advisors we use to pass challenges, and you can compare just the results with the other tables. Like with the challenges, the results are worse. This is because the conditions with the prop firms are worse compared to the live trading and the funded trading. But if you want to spend your money on prop firms, that's your choice. I don't suggest putting all of your trading capital in prop firms. Maybe 10% max. Hi, I have a question that is not related, but I need to ask for some guidance. And that's a huge question, guys. I'm not gonna read the whole thing because it's a long question. You can pause the video for those who are watching the podcast, but I will summarize it. The guy is spending over $1,500 annually on VPSs, and there are limitations. So how I'm handling the whole process of trading on hundreds of MetaTrader platforms is by trading on servers, my own servers that I have in the house. And we have 2 internet suppliers. We have a very good organization in the team that allows everybody to connect to the servers and to manage the accounts, but I don't depend on online VPSs because it's expensive, it's limiting. So there is actually one answer below that question, and it says I use my laptop, works like a charm, and that's a solution. If you have a laptop, if you have a PC, you can have a few MetaTrader platforms. The only thing is you need to be connected to the internet and to the electricity the whole time. UPS is a good solution, and as I said, 2 internet providers, and I am planning actually to record a video about that, a dedicated video to give you all of the details about the machines, what parts we ordered. And I'm not a specialist in that, so I'll invite the people that help me with that for the video. The second question here is making your own strategy or not, and if we should be testing on a demo account all the EAs we've developed with EA Studio, because the results are not the same on demo and live. And that's true, unfortunately. So if you're using EA Studio, and that's something I'm discussing quite often in the one-on-one classes I have, one of the best solutions is if you generate expert advisors with EA Studio, just don't put them on demo, download them as collections and save them, right? After a month or 2, re-upload them back to EA Studio with the new historical data and see how they performed with the live historical data. This is a better result for live trading compared to the demo, and it saves you all the costs and time and effort to put all of these expert advisors on demo and to look for the results on FX Blue. Just download the collections, organize them in folders, re-upload them back after some time, and see which strategies are profitable for the current market conditions. And we have 3 questions until the end, but stay with me because there are a few interesting ones. When Forex Gold investor doing peak performance, you promoted on every video, and now everyone's suffering who onboarded after your video. So don't do the same mistake on crypto investor bot, because it also can do similar behavior during Bitcoin correction. And I thank you very much for this comment and question, and I said that I will answer all of them even if I don't like them. But you're probably right. Sometimes when I see good results in my accounts, I get enthusiastic, right? I want to share it with everybody. And I've shared a lot of profits in my accounts, in my YouTube videos from the Forex Gold Investor and from other EAs, and after some time they start losing money, and the results are there on our accounts. If I show you, for example, the live trading, you'll see the Forex Gold Investor still on the page right in here. I'm risking 1%, and this account started with $1,000, currently it's $1,400. If I show you the track record, and look at that, it made negative 50%, unfortunately. And here's the track record. So it nearly doubled, tripled the account, nearly touching the 3K, and now it lost like 50%. As I said, I experienced the same losses, guys. And as I said in one of my previous podcasts that I recorded again on my own, I don't know how the expert advisors will perform in the future. And I'm sorry, guys, if I let you down. When I review expert advisor, you start testing it and you experience losses. But imagine the following thing. Imagine you watched my video right at that point, somewhere between end of 2024 and April 2025, you start trading the Forex Gold Investor, and right in here, somewhere in May, you say, okay, I will withdraw all of the profits. I made enough. I'm happy with it, and I will stop trading it. You will be a happy guy. But the humanity in us, the trading greed we have, is the problem that I had with the Forex Gold Investor, and the problem with many of you guys. You don't withdraw profits. And I said that in many of my videos, and I also withdraw regularly now whenever I have profits. And I missed it here. I should have withdrawn once I made $1,000, right? I should have taken the money, maybe spent half of it on something, maybe invest the other half on something else, but I didn't, right? So this is one of the hard lessons for me, that I should be withdrawing profits. And it really depends. So imagine the second case scenario where you watched my video somewhere in this period, somewhere in May, and I'm sure many of you watched Forex Gold Investors videos in this period, and you start trading with it and you just experience losses, and then you say, okay, Petko is manipulating this, he's making profits, but I'm not. Well, this account for me is still profitable, right? I still made 76% profit in that account. Even I withdraw them now, I will be on profit. And if you started in May, you will be losing. It's the same expert advisor on the same market conditions. It just depends when we started, when I started and when you started. And if you just see a review video of mine with profits and you start trading the robot and you experience losses, just cut it, right? If you're not happy with 10% loss, just put your hard stop loss or max loss at 10% and just stop it. Probably it's the wrong time, or probably something wrong with the inputs. It's not my fault, guys. It is your responsibility whenever you start trading a robot in your live accounts. No matter if you watched me, if you watched another YouTuber, if you watched somebody else, the moment you put your expert advisor in your MetaTrader account, that's your responsibility, and you have to accept that. I accept the risk whenever I put expert advisors in my MetaTrader account, and I'm happy with what I'm doing. So find the right way for you to do it. Don't blame others. I'm okay if you blame me. I accept that. I understand why you blame me. But what I'm trying to say is that it depends a lot on when you start, and it's your own responsibility. I'm not asking you to trade a specific robot on a specific account, right? I'm showing my trading. it's up to you whether you will follow it. Hey Petko, I use Exness. I'm really confused which account should be used for live. I use a pro account for live on $1,000, which has no commission and it has tight spreads, but not completely 0 pips. But in zero account, algo works perfect with commission of $3.5 per lot. If I start with 0.01, I ended up closing in negative. I am going to start big, so please help me choose the right account. Thanks a lot. I found you and this ocean of trading. I love you forever. I love you too, guys. Probably the best thing you can do is just put the same expert advisor on the 2 accounts, let them trade for a week and see where you will have better results. I've never used Exness, so I cannot say which account is better. If you are not sure, just compare them with the same expert advisor. Start at the same time on a live account. Small account 0.01, good enough to compare it. And here is the last question on YouTube. Do you have any workflow advice for a solo? The administration of multiple brokers, including props, tracking and weeding out new, old and currently running EAs, storing backtest results. I try to keep up to date with my Notion book and Excel tracking, but boy, it is hard and I get snowed under. I know it's hard, guys. I am going through that. I'm trying to simplify it all the time and it's never happening, right? It gets just more and more complicated because I test more and more expert advisors and I have my team luckily, but for solo, that was the question. I would say keep it simple, keep it up to 10 accounts. You can trade them comfortably on a single machine, computer, laptop with an internet connection. As I said, keep an eye on the FX Blue track record. Something interesting we've added in the academies. If you go to account and you go to my track records, you can add all of your accounts in here. Just go to configuration and drop in here the name of the expert advisor, the FX Blue track record, and you will have it all in one page. Super comfortable. The EA Trading Academy website results is work of art. It's a lot of work to make this happen, guys, but I'm happy you appreciate it. But I fear I do not have the time to get to this level with full-time work, kids, managing stocks and scalping futures for the New York Open, Aussie-based. Thanks for all your efforts. Rust proof. We are working with my team on a new project, something bigger. I've mentioned it already in one of my previous podcasts, guys. It will be much easier for you to follow all of the results for every single expert advisor, and just stay tuned for it. And a few questions from the socials. When will the results for the 100k challenge be? Also, what robot can you put on trading.com that will give you the same results as the Forex Gold Investor? Cause the Gold Investor was passing it every 2 months, but now it's declining. First, the results from the 100k project are pretty much in every video that I record now, because every video is based on the results from all of the accounts I placed in the 100k project. So there will be no ending point to say, okay, that's it, because the accounts keep trading, right? And for the trading.com, right after recording this podcast, I'll record a short video for this channel, which you can find right in this tab, where I will discuss exactly the 5 robots suitable for trading.com, because as you said, the Forex Gold Investor is declining. I've lost my mind in this game, literally. I need guidance. Blew my funds using Vigorous EA on $1,000 accounts. First of all, I think $1,000 account is very small for any of the powerhouse strategies. That is why we trade them either on funded accounts or on a bigger account. We don't have any of those on $1,000 live account. Only we have the Ranger advisor, which is kind of a test, but it gains very slowly. So they need more capital. And yes, I also experienced the losses on my 5K account where I kept my stop loss at 30%. I regret about it because the backtest was showing 4% for the whole history. So keeping the global stop loss at 4.5 or 5% was the smart thing to do. And if I kept it there, I wouldn't have those losses. As well, I experienced losses in the charity account from iFunds, as well on my personal 50K iFunds account, which I actually lost because of the tiny stop loss. So we shouldn't really depend on one expert advisor. A portfolio of a few is better with very well measured risk. Equal exposure between the different expert advisors makes much more sense, because even when we experience losses from one of them, the overall performance is on profit. You can see that even I had this loss from the Sharpshooter on my 5K account, like 30%, above $1,300 of a loss. The performance in the last 30 days is positive, and of course the overall performance of my life accounts is positive. Next question is, what's your total profit per month on all accounts? Honestly, I don't know. I will check it out right now and I'll show it to you. So when you go to live trading and the results tab, the bigger accounts are blurred for the VIP members, but then come the $1,000 accounts, and here you can see that what we have as a gain in the last 30 days is about 2%, $687. Overall, 4,200, and most of these accounts are from the 100K project. So let's say that so far I've made about $4,200 profit, or that's a little bit above 11%. So whenever you're watching the video or whenever you want to see the total gain, just look at it on the table. And I asked my team to summarize that so it is very clear for everybody. You can see how much we've made with the smaller accounts, with the bigger accounts, with the funded accounts. And to be honest, at this stage, I don't really care how much I've made, because really my mission, and I've probably got a bit obsessed by looking for the best expert advisors. I know it might sound funny and unrealistic, guys, but I'm not really sure exactly how much I'm spending on expert advisors, on accounts, on props, on funded trading accounts every month. Whenever my team finds a good expert advisor and they say, hey Petko, let's test that on $1,000 life account, I just say, go ahead. I just send them the money. I just fund the account. I don't care, because I trust them. If they tell this to me, then it is worthwhile doing it for me. And I really, really want to have this portfolio of expert advisors, guys, at least 10. And I think we are getting to this number, 10 expert advisors that are profitable in the long term. Then I can say, okay, let's put 100K now in live trading in 10 separate live accounts and let's make some money, right? And of course, I will share this video, but it doesn't mean you have to follow it. It doesn't mean I'm right. I might be wrong. So again, it's your responsibility if you'll be following me and if you'll be doing the same thing. And the last questions we got on Facebook, I believe, is would love to see your recommendation for EAs on high money accounts. For instance, account 50 to 100K or more. Hopefully I'll get there. Well, if the expert advisor does well on $1,000 account, it will do well as well on a 100K account. The opposite is different. If you have an expert advisor like the Vigorous, the Sharpshooter, the Waka that require at least 3 or 5K, it is nearly impossible to trade them on a smaller account. But those expert advisors that work on a $1,000 account. That's the reason I started the 100K project with $1,000 accounts. Those EAs, they will work on the bigger accounts. Don't worry about that. Is it true that you are getting special conditions from prop firms, so your results are way better than the normal guy would get with the same EA? My team was laughing on that question when we saw it, because it's like you sold that on, on the news or in the newspaper somewhere. Well, guys, unfortunately not. I wish it was true, because if I were able to get special conditions, I'll take advantage of that and I'll make some money, not showing them on YouTube, just to make money. The only time I got something special from prop firms was the time probably 2 to 3 years ago, and I've said that, I've shared that in some of my videos, is when I was passing prop firm challenges, and I was showing that in my videos with some prop firms, and I was really happy, again excited, I wanted to share it with you, and it turned out that those prop firms didn't pay out to some of my subscribers using the very same strategy. At this time, there was no consistency rules. There was no need to have randomization. We were allowed to trade with expert advisors comfortably. But some of the prop firms were giving payouts to me because they were hoping I will show them on the YouTube channel, right? And when I realized that they are not acting the same to some of my followers and subscribers, I got really frustrated. I really felt bad, and that's why I'm not taking any sponsorships from prop firms. And whenever I show that I passed a prop firm nowadays, I focus on the EA and how I passed it, not on the prop firm itself. And I'm not recommending any prop firms anymore, guys, because of that. Right? Because they might be sending the payouts to me, hoping I will show them, but at the same time, they will not send the payouts to you. I don't have any relationship with prop firms. Trust me, they ask about it all the time, but I refuse all of them. If you had $5,000 available now and wanted to start withdrawing $3,000 monthly in 3 or 4 years, if you could only choose 1 or 2 EAs, which ones would you choose? Going back to my 5K live accounts, I believe the Happy Gold is capable of growing a 5K account to 10 or 15K, because it actually did on my demo account. So if you look at the Happy Gold EA scalping version, gained over 200%. So I started with 5,000 and now the equity is above $16,600. And that happened for 600 days. However, my goal for those 5K accounts, it's not to grow them for 3 or 4 years, but actually to withdraw consistently profit. So whenever I make like $1,000 from any of those accounts, I just withdraw that, right? And even with the 3K Waka Waka account, you can see that my profit is 40%, but my equity is actually the same as the initial balance, because just recently I requested a withdrawal, and you can see that withdrawal and the account history. So I don't really want to risk years of trading, and if something extraordinary happens on the market, we might lose everything, especially if we don't put a global stop loss for the account. But of course, everybody has different purposes of trading, and I think it is possible to grow such an account with the Waka Waka, with the Happy Gold, with the Market Master, the FX Stabilizer, but too early to say for these two because they are brand new. I believe the Sharpshooter is also a great strategy, but as I already said, the stop loss shouldn't be at 30%, but probably at 4.5 or 5%, and it can also grow accounts. And actually what happened recently with the Sharpshooter is a proof that we should withdraw profits regularly, right? Because what I've made is nearly 10% in this account, and if I have withdrawn that money and if I had a tiny stop loss, I don't experience this huge loss in the account. But if I have to choose any right now to answer your question, I would say the Happy Gold and the Waka Waka. Last question, guys. Do you have any other income generating business besides trading? And that's probably a decent question for a last answer in this relatively long podcast. I'm not sure how happy my editors will be. The income I have besides trading, guys, is from YouTube, which is one of the smallest. I have shared in my videos that I receive less than $1,000 a month from YouTube. I generate profit from the affiliate links in the description of every video, and I generate profit from the sponsors of the YouTube channels. Usually these are the huge regulated brokers like IC Markets, FP Markets, Black Bull, 8K. But as I said in the past, I'm happy with this income because it is enough for me to run the whole business of the EA Trading Academy, you know, to pay the salaries, to pay all of the equipment, you know, monitors for everybody, PCs for everybody. And I am very comfortable that I'm showing brokers that are reliable. So if you follow me and you open an account with them, I am comfortable that you will be able to withdraw your profits because these are regulated brokers. If I were taking sponsorships from prop firms, I wouldn't be comfortable, guys, because whenever we publish a video, and I can show you that, I'll go to my YouTube Studio Analytics, and here you can see that I'm actually earning 600 euro from YouTube. That's the cost of one single video we publish, but I want to show you the content. And what I want to show you is the likes, guys, right? So with this very recent video, we had 100% likes. Nobody placed a dislike, because before on YouTube it was public. Whenever you're watching a video, let's say this video, it has 134 likes and you cannot see the dislike. You can put a dislike, but you don't know how many people disliked it, right? But from the video analytics, I see that most of the videos get between 95 and 100% likes, guys. Look at that. There is no video below 95%. And I will do my best to keep it this way. I am really happy when you like the videos. This gives me motivation. This makes it worthwhile, and this means the world to me, guys. It means that everything I do, those countless hours we spent with my team, and you know, we chat until 2, 3, 4 in the morning sometimes just to finish that video, just to finish the editing of the other video, just to prepare the next video, to test the accounts. All of that makes sense when I see this result, because if it's the other way around, I wouldn't show my face on camera. I would be ashamed. I would be sad. Thank you guys for all of the questions. I appreciate it. I hope I answered all of them, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.